Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show. And in today's episode, I am going to be doing my first round NFL mock draft without trades. So don't really want to do too much talking, but if you do enjoy, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe and like button. Much appreciated. So let's get right into it. So let's start the draft. I'm not going to talk too much about Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars. I think that's pretty obvious. Um, the Jets, some people say Justin Fields might be their guy, but I'm going to go Zach Wilson. And then you have the 49ers where some people think that it could be Mac Jones here, it could be Fields, it could be Lance, it could be any of those three, but it seems like it's between Fields and Jones pretty much right here, which is pretty weird. But I mean, I think Justin Fields is their guy. Don't get me wrong, Mac Jones could be a very solid guy, but I mean, you don't draft a guy to fit your system. If you draft the right guy, he will be the system, and that's your goal, especially if you're picking this high. And Fields can maybe be the system. So, and then we have the Falcons, which is where the draft truly does start. Do the Falcons draft a quarterback here? Do they draft Fields, Lance, or Mac Jones, whoever maybe drops to here, um, for a guy to learn behind Matt Ryan, or do they get a guy to build around continue to build around Matt Ryan and maybe add on a few more years to his career? And this route, I'm gonna go with building around Matt Ryan. I would take a quarterback, but something tells me I think they're gonna build around Matt Ryan for his last few years, and I'm gonna have them taking Penny Sewell because they really need to work on that offensive line to protect him if you want him around longer. So I think Sewell would be an awesome pick here. And then what stinks about the Bengals is that Sewell isn't here. Now, I would trade back if I were the Bengals. I would trade back, but I'm not doing trades in this draft. So I'm actually gonna take Rashawn Slater, which really this is really different of a mock draft that I've done because I usually have the Falcons taking maybe Pitts, maybe quarterback, but don't be surprised if they take a tackle if they plan on building around Matt Ryan because receivers are deep in this class and they don't really need receivers. Maybe they draft a tight end later on, but I know Hayden Hurst is a decent guy. Um, Now I get a lot of people want the Bengals to take Jamar Chase, but I don't care who was there at 5. If it's Sewell or Slater, take one of those two. Take one of them because you need to protect your guy in Joe Burrow. Do not make the same mistake that you did last year. Hope they learn their lesson no matter what. One of those two, they have to take one of those two, in my opinion. You have to protect your guy. We've seen what happened to many quarterbacks that weren't protected. It eventually caught up to them, or their career was ended very, very quickly. Very quickly. So, so for the Dolphins, I think it's between two players here, but I'm actually going to go Kyle Pitts. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts because, you know, a lot of people have him taking receiver if Jamar Chase drops here past the Bengals. Um, but I don't know. I think they should just take Pitts. I think Pitts would be a better draft pick for the Dolphins because they have quite a few young receivers that can really show out. They have Parker, he's not as young as he was, but I mean he's still a very solid receiver. You Will Fuller coming in. You have Preston Williams. I don't know if they still have that Ellen Hearns or not, but I think the Dolphins have some potential wide receiver, and I think Kyle Pitts he can also play wide receiver. So if you really want to play two tight end sets as well, you take Pitts because could you imagine Gesicki and Pitts? That would be really, really scary tight end room. Really solid too, because you could also put Pitts and Gesicki maybe in the slot once in a while. Gesicki could play in the slot, but definitely not as well as Pitts. And Pitts would be a nice big target for Tua. So I guess we'll have to see where they go with that. And then we have the Lions. I think the Lions are in a position where they need to take the best player available. And I'm going to go Jamar Chase. I think he's the best player available at this point. Um, Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones did leave. So I think just taking the best player available will suit the Lions best here. Okay, and then we have the Panthers. So I could really see the Panthers going anywhere here. I don't see them going Micah Parsons. They have invested some into the defensive line. You turn to Gross, Brian Burns, Derek Brown. I don't really think they're looking for. I mean, maybe they could take a line. I mean, no. I'm here. I'm probably gonna go with the receiver to get another guy around Sam Darnold, get him another playmaker, and I'm gonna go with Devontae Smith, who is a better guy that knows how to run routes so well and who is so smooth. He'll be there where Sam Darnold expects him to be, and that will really benefit Sam Darnold. I think having those three really solid weapons they did lose Curtis Samuel too. So those three solid weapons, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and Devontae Smith, whew, it's a good trio if you ask me. And then you have the Broncos, I'm gonna go Michael Parsons here because they did lose Michael Parsons did lose or no, the Broncos lost Von Miller, I mean. So I think I'm not saying Michael Parsons is gonna replace Von Miller, but I'm saying he come in and learn and eventually fill in his spot. So and then we have the Cowboys, I don't see them going offense. I don't think they should go offense here because the Cowboys are loaded on offense. They have awesome receivers, awesome running back. Offensive line is decent. Quarterback really good. Tight end decent. I think they could really go on defense here no matter what. Um, I could see either Chris Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn because I mean it really depends on which one fits the Cowboys system more. Patrick Surtain is a better down the sideline corner, but J.C. Horn is a better man-to-man corner. So I mean, it all depends on the scheme, but I'm gonna go with Patrick Surtain, pair him up with Trayvon Diggs again. That'd be pretty good, and I guess we'll see how that goes. I think Patrick Surtain would be a great pick for the Cowboys at this point because we know their defense is pretty weak right now. So, and then you have the Giants, which the Giants really don't have that many needs. The Giants have really built a decent roster. The defense is pretty solid. They could use an edge rusher. Giants could maybe use another offensive lineman. I mean, the Giants are in a weird spot here. They could use maybe Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to maybe be a really good coverage linebacker because they do have Blake Martinez, who is an extremely, extremely solid tackler, but not the greatest at coverage guys, which Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah could make up for. Now, some of you may think that's a little early, but I think Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah can go earlier than people think. I think he's an extremely solid coverage linebacker now. I think he would also be a good fit with the Eagles if the Giants do not end up drafting him, but that's kind of my bold pick of the draft. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, they pick him and man, they're set because they're pretty set on offense. Maybe they could use another offensive lineman, but they could always get that later on because offensive lineman is pretty deep in this class. So we'll go with that. And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles are in a position to take the best player available here. I could see them taking Christian Darrisaw because that offensive line is getting to be on its last legs. That's really the wheels are really starting to fall off. Players getting older, and Christian Darrisaw could help protect their young guy Jalen Hurts, or they could get another receiver option for Hurts to go along with Rager, Fulgham. It'd be a really solid wide receiver core because that tight end group is solid. Even if Ertz leaves, it's solid. So maybe they go corner as well, and they get a really really solid duo. But I don't know about that. I'm probably gonna go with Jalen Waddle here. Jalen Waddle. I think Christian Darrisaw would be another really good pick here, but I'm gonna go Jalen Waddle. I think he'd be a solid pick. The Philadelphia Eagles just get Hurts another weapon, but I mean, take Darrisaw. I mean, you can't go wrong either way. It's just Jalen Waddle's injuries do scare you a little bit. So, I mean, it's whatever the Eagles prefer where they want to go, but maybe maybe Nick Sirianni coming from Frank Reich will want to build in the trenches. So maybe they'll go with Christian Darrisaw. You never know. So they like to run. So actually Darrisaw would probably be a good pick there. But since Darrisaw's still on the board and the Chargers really need to tackle, Christian Darrisaw now, Chargers did sign a center, Corey Linsley. I think they could still use another tackle. They could still use work on the left side big time. So gonna take Christian Darrisaw. Then we have the Minnesota Vikings, who is a offensive lineman desperate team. They're desperate for offensive linemen, so I'm actually gonna go with Elijah Vera Tucker. Um, you know, this may be a little early for Tucker, but I think it says he's a tackle. It says he's a tackle, but I think he is a much better guard than tackle. Um, he can still play tackle solid, but he's played 1 year tackle. But when he played guard, he was so good at guard. And, I think he'd be better at guard, but the Vikings would rather play him at tackle. I just think he'd be better at guard. So I think they'll take a lot. I think they could take Elijah Vera Tucker in this situation. And then you have Patriots. I think it's kind of a no-brainer here. I mean, if Trey Lance makes it this far, do they pass on Mac Jones and take Trey Lance instead, or do they take Mac Jones instead? Ooh, got a bit of controversy here. It's a tough one. I'm probably gonna go with. I mean, Trey Lance is kind of like Cam Newton, if I'm gonna be honest. I think Trey Lance is a guy that's, he could really take over the game with his legs, but I think he'd be a premium game manager. I don't think he's gonna be a game changer with his arm. Just kind of not what you want from a quarterback, and I think I'm gonna go with Mac Jones. I think the Patriots would be more interested in Mac Jones. I don't know. It's just a guy that would fit their system. I know I said earlier that you'd rather a guy who would be in the system, but I think Bill Belichick would rather a guy like Mac Jones. Okay, so let's continue. Arizona Cardinals. Could really go corner. I think J.C. Horn is a really good pick for them here. I'm gonna go with J.C. Horn. I think J.C. Horn is really good for the Cardinals at this point. If you pair up J.C. Horn, Butler, I think that's a solid start to a very promising secondary. So I think J.C. Horn would be a solid pick. Maybe they go offensive line if one drops. Maybe Tucker. Maybe Barrett Tucker. I think he would be solid. I wouldn't be surprised if they take Barmore. Um, all very solid options for the Cardinals, but and now we have to move on to the Raiders. With the Raiders, I'm gonna go. Hmm, I think I'm gonna go Christian. I mean, wait, is Jalen Phillips here or Quiddy Pay? We're gonna go. I didn't take them yet, so we got Quiddy Pay, Jason Owe, Jalen Phillips. So they really could use an edge rusher as well. But I'm actually gonna go with Christian Barmore over them. I think they'd be interested in Christian Barmore more. They definitely they definitely drafted a few guys. You could also build on the edge later on. Edge is really, really deep in this class, so I think you can maybe go later on. But now we move on to the Dolphins. You know, whew, see where we're gonna go for the Dolphins here. We picked who did we pick earlier? Kyle Pitts. So maybe we go defense here. Maybe we go to it's a tough one. Let's see. Let's go to linebacker. Any linebackers here? No. I mean, I can maybe see Zaven Collins going here. Um, no one really else that they should be interested in here. Maybe this would be a spot where they trade back and get more picks, but I mean, maybe they Quiddy Pay, Jason Alway. I'm actually gonna go with Jalen Phillips. I think Jalen Phillips would be a really solid fit for the Miami Dolphins because they do need an edge rusher, and I can see Phillips fitting in real well with the Dolphins. He could fit any scheme, so I'm not worried about that. People would seem to be blowing the thing out of proportion. His problem with his concussions, that was mainly from a car accident, and it really does not concern me that much. I think he's going to be fine. People saying he was almost retired in college. I don't. I think he'll be fine. I don't think that's going to be a problem. But right now, as I'm looking at this board, that's a no-brainer. Trey Lance. That's a no-brainer. Then you have the Bears. The Bears probably really mad right now. They probably could have traded up if this was a trade. and gotten Trey Lance. But who would the Bears take here? I think Bateman would be a really good pick for the Bears. But if I'm gonna be honest, I'm actually gonna go with Elijah Moore. I think one of the best footwork wide receivers, one of the better route runners. He gives Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase a run for the money in route running. So I'm gonna go Elijah Moore. I think Elijah Moore is an extremely, extremely solid guy that can go to the Bears and really help out whoever the quarterback's going to be, whether it's Andy Dalton or not. And then we have the Colts. They could use an edge rusher. They could use a tackle. I keep messing up this screen bad, but apologize. I'm still getting used to it. The Colts, I mean, who's here at tackles? Tevin Jenkins here, because the Colts really seem to like Tevin Jenkins, but I don't know if he's worth this pick at this part of the draft. He may be. He's a mauler in the run game, but he does need to work on his pass blocking. But I'm actually going to go with Kwity Paye. I think Kwity Paye would be a solid fit for the Colts here. A good edge rusher. He would bring some more certainty to this edge rushing group. So I'm going to go with Kwity Paye. And then at number 22, we have the Titans. They need receivers as well because they did let Corey Davis go, and they really don't have anyone else behind him. So would they go? Who would they go is a big question. I think any of these guys out of Rondale Moore, except for Rondale Moore, I would go with here. But a guy that would De'Ami Brown sounds like a Titans guy, and he would be a first round guy. Just this talent is so. This draft is so talented with wide receivers. He's that low. You have Bateman, Marshall. I think I'm going to see Bateman going here. I think I see Bateman going to the Tennessee Titans, so I'm going to take Bateman going to the Titans. And then you have the Jets. They could use a bit. I think their safeties are okay. I think their edge rushing is maybe okay. They just signed Carl Lawson. Why? Okay, that was taken off. So, who will we take here for the Jets? Do they take a shot at the cornerback and Caleb Farley as a guy that has had big injury problems? This is a tough one. This definitely is a tough one. Maybe running back. Maybe they go with Javonte Williams. I know it says ranked 53, but Javonte Williams is a first-round talent, and I'm going to have the Jets taking Javonte Williams. So, and then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They need offensive linemen. They need a running back. They need a safety maybe to replace Terrell Edmonds, who hasn't been all that great. I think I have an idea here. May surprise me, you guys, but I'm actually gonna go with. See if I can find him. What? Do they not have him here? He's from Oregon. He's at safety from Oregon. Am I just missing him? I must just not be seeing him here unless he is considered a cornerback. Yeah. Yeah, Javon Holland. I could see them taking Javon Holland. I don't like how he slipped out of first round. He can be a very, very solid safety / cornerback. He's very versatile. He can play slot really well. He can play safety really well, which I think is a guy that the Patriots really need or the Steelers really need because, Terrell Edmonds, he really struggled last season at times. And I think Javon Holland would help this team tremendously because, bring a guy to the slot, bring a guy that could play safety as well. So I think that would be an extremely solid pick for them. And then Jaguars, I think I'm going to go two safeties in a row here. I'm actually going to go Trayvon Mullen to the Jacksonville Jaguars because they could definitely use a little more secondary help, but the secondary is starting to shape up over there. So I'm going to take Mulreg. And then you have the Cleveland Browns, who just signed Jadeveon Clowney, so maybe they don't take an edge rusher. But at the same time, I can see him taking another one. Why not load up on edge rushers? I don't think Clowney is that 3-down guy either. So I may have to go with an edge rusher and maybe Jason Oweh, maybe Azeez Alujari, Gregory Rosu. I could see Rosu being a fit with them, and I'm actually gonna pick him to be a fit with them. I know they just signed Clowney, but Clowney is not a 3-down guy, and I think Gregory Rosu would be an awesome pick for these guys. And then you have the Baltimore Ravens, who definitely has a few needs. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Tevin Jenkins here, because Tevin Jenkins, he right tackle, and Orlando Brown does not want to play right tackle. He wants to play left tackle, but that's obviously not going to happen because they have Ronnie Staley. So I could see I could see Orlando Brown going to a new team, which he has been on the trade block. Just I'm surprised he hasn't been traded yet, which kind of surprised me. But I could honestly see Tevin Jenkins being a pick because of that. But I think I know where I want to go with this pick. I'm gonna go Terrace Marshall Jr., who I think would be an awesome fit for them. So, and then we're on to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints really are in a weird spot. They can really use wide receiver, linebacker, corner, just like these needs say here. Um, it's just I don't know. I don't really know where to go. I think this is a little early for Nick Bolton, maybe. Um, you do have Greg Newsome on the board. Do they take a shot at Caleb Farley? Do they ooh shoot. Maybe they take a shot at wide receiver to help their quarterbacks. Maybe they take De'Ami Brown. Maybe they take Kadarius Toney, Rondell Moore, maybe the Boilermaker. Um, I don't really know who to go with here. I don't want to go QB, no. Um, ooh, this is a tough one. I don't really know who I want to go here. You know what? I'm gonna go with them taking a shot. Caleb Farley. I think he's got really solid talent. He's just gotta get the oh, I didn't really know where to go. I probably should have went Tony, but they could go either way. They definitely need other needs there, and I'm actually gonna go Kadarius Toney to the Green Bay Packers. We always think that the Packers are gonna. They never seem to draft what we think they're gonna draft. They never seem to, but then it always works out. So we will have to see where they go with that. If they're actually gonna stay on track or stay with what everyone's saying, or they just gonna go and do something totally different. It's unknown until it really happens. But I think Kadarius Toney is their type of receiver. He's really solid route runner, good footwork, really good run after the catch. I think he would be a solid fit in Green Bay, but Green Bay is so picky with their receivers, so you really don't know. And then you have the Buffalo Bills who could use an edge rusher. Um, I think that's one of their bigger needs. Maybe they could get a wide receiver, but that's not till later on. Um, maybe a corner, but I'm actually gonna go with Jason Oweh for edge rush. So my pick for the Bills, and then you have the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm actually gonna have them on. They did sign Joe Thuney. Do they take Tevin Jenkins though? Do they take Tevin Jenkins here? I get Walker Little's here, and he has awesome talent, but he's got some injury issues. I don't really know where to go here either. As the draft gets later on, I have a bit more of a hard time in the first round at least. Um, hmm. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, I can't. Okay. Let me see what the Chiefs guys are. Chiefs tackles. Eric Fisher. No, I think he was okay. I am really lost right Okay, I'm actually lost right now, so I didn't do enough research on the Chiefs, but I'm actually gonna go corner because they could use a corner after losing Breland and stuff. So I'm gonna go with Greg Newsome, and then the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers can maybe add a corner, maybe add safety. No, there's no safeties that are worth going here. Aziz Al-Rajari, do they want another edge rusher? I don't know. Dylan Radunes, no. Maybe they just take another wide receiver, which I don't think would be a bad idea. Really don't. Um, would go De'Ami Brown. Ooh, I don't really know what to go here because the Bucks really don't have many needs. They really don't. Um, Geez, as I really got towards the end of this draft, I struggled. I'm gonna have to do a lot more research and do another mock draft again. Um, ooh, Walker Little, Shante Samuel, Nick Bolton. I'm gonna go Tevin Jenkins. No, they don't need a tackle, do they? Not really. Don't really need a linebacker. Maybe they take Carlo Basham Jr. Take another edge rusher. Heck, why not? Why not? Right. All right, guys. That is my draft. Let's go through it. Okay, so let's see what mock draft would how PFF would rank my mock. So we got Trevor Lawrence 1 A plus, Zach Wilson's A plus, Justin Fields A plus, Penny Sewell A minus, Sean Slater C minus, Kyle Pitts B, Jamar Chase A, Devontae Smith A, Micah Parsons B plus, Patrick Surtain B plus, my Wiz Kamala, and Waddle A. Ooh, it was pretty good there. Had a good stretch of A's from 12 to 22. Not too bad. Javonte Williams plus Javon Holland is it's D, but I don't think that's a bad pick. Really solid draft, I guess. I like to see like my overall discussion with the teams. Okay. Oh well, but yeah, that's my mock draft. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching this video. Let me know what you guys think. That's my mock draft. So I'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.